explanation section of your paragraph. This right here. Let me get out of this. This right here is where we're going to be working. All right, in the explanation. All right. So here is my earlier example. And so the topic sentence is reality TV has a large impact on how we think as a society. So theoretically, that's my opinion. All right, that's not a quote or anything. That's what I am saying. Here's the quote. Jennifer Posner, author of many pop culture texts, explains how reality TV can influence the surrounding culture, claiming, and then we have a quote. Maybe I can finally spell her name right. So this is how it looks on the C paragraph format, and then we'll talk about how to analyze it here in the explanation section. One thing you should see is that when I have Posner's name here, I don't have it here in the in-text citation. If I don't have her name here, if this is gone, then I do have it down here. And an example of that is back here. Where here, right, when I didn't incorporate the quote, which you need to do, I don't have her name, so I have it down here. But once I incorporate the quote, and here I can change her name again. Once I incorporate the quote and use a signal phrase and have her name, I don't need it here because I don't need to repeat it. That's just a side note. So we have my topic sentence, we have the quote, and now we need to analyze it. So we'll look at this example. Again, topic sentence, example, and then this is the analysis that I want to see. So you have the quote, mass media is our prime purveyor of that cultural hegemony, by which I mean that media is largely responsible for how we know what we know. And so like I see this term right here, and it's a big term, and I don't know if my reader knows it, so I want to talk about it when I analyze that quote. So in my explanation, in my quote analysis, and this is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to take pieces from this larger quote, take pieces of it, this one word, and discuss it. And then later down here, I take another piece and I discussed it beforehand. All right? So, and look at the way this paragraph lays out. Topic sentence, one sentence. Quote, one sentence. Explanation, super long, right? And this is my ideas right here. These are my ideas. This is my argument. And that's how I want your paragraphs to look, to where the majority of your paragraph, the majority of your essay is your opinion, your argument, as opposed to just relying on quotes and allowing those quotes to kind of push your ideas out of the way. All right, you want your ideas to be prominent. That's why we start paragraphs with your idea and we end paragraphs with a huge piece of your idea and your analysis. All right? So I see this word, I know it's going to be a problem and that I need to explain it. Heck, we'll put it in a different color. So down here, I explain it. When Posner refers to hegemony here, she is claiming that reality TV has enough influence to infiltrate how our society thinks as a whole. So I'm explaining what she's saying. I'm dealing with it, right? I'm not just leaving it because that's a tough quote. What is that? What's that mean, right? So I'm trying to explain in her mind and mine. So I'm trying to chime in. Hey, look, this is what she's saying, but I also agree. Reality TV builds a set of commonplaces that the entire society understands and refers to when they are making sense of the world around them. All right. This is all me trying to explain how she's using the word hegemony. And then I give an example of it. This is my example from my mind. I'm not saying I agree with any of this. I'm just giving an example. For example, if someone meets a blonde-haired, good-looking woman, they might immediately connect that person to Jessica Simpson and assume that person they meet or they met shares Simpson's intelligence level, or at least the intelligence level she displays in her reality TV show. And if we remember, if we read Posner, which I'm sure we did, she refers to Jessica Simpson's reality TV show. Now, this connection might not be a conscious one. Here I am down here. Meaning the person might not explicitly say, this is Jessica Simpson, but somewhere deep within their mind, they hold this idea of what a blonde-haired woman is. And that idea was created by the crap that is on TV, specifically reality TV. So I'm explaining in this, this is an explanation. I'm just giving an example in my explanation. I'm explaining how reality TV influences everyday life, right? And that's what I'm trying to say right here, is reality TV has a large impact on how we think as a society. And here's a small, specific example of how it makes us think as a society. People within the society, they're influenced by these reality shows. They start thinking a certain way, all right? And they meet people and they put them into certain categories. And that's what I'm trying to explain. And this idea of referring, and now I'm back down here, to a template of who we think people are when we meet new people is why Posner claims reality TV impacts how we know what we know. All right. So again, I refer back to a specific quote that comes up here. Right. Let's get a different color going. How about green? Oops. And green. So what I want you to see here is I'm taking pieces of this quote and breaking it apart and allowing my reader to better understand it. All right? These quotes, they don't mean anything until you put your language around it. Then it becomes yours. All right? You kind of have to chew up the quote, walk them through how you interpret the quote. All right? This is what I mean by analysis. Taking pieces of this quote and talking about it here in your explanation. Taking pieces here and talking about it down here. All right? That will show me that you understand the quote, that you're working it into your main point. And it'll help get your point across. All right? Let me just save that. Find this. So, quote analysis. Here's just some quick things that you can try to do to analyze and build your explanation part of your paragraph. After using a quote, I'd like to see you directly discuss the quote in your explanation section of your paragraph. And these are 4 things that you can do. Pull out words from the quote and explain their significance to your point. And that's kind of what I showed you with the different colors of the example, right? The hegemony, the how you know what you know. That's what I want to see. That's why this is in bold too, because this is very, very important. This is what will show me that you've watched this video, you understood this video, and you're trying to implement these ideas. You can also prove how the quote, or you can also explain how the quote proves your topic sentence. You can explain any complicated ideas or words in the quote, and we see that with hegemony, and explain how the quote proves your overall thesis. So I want you to refer directly to the quote we use. That's what I want you to walk out with. All right? And a good way to do that is to pull words from the quote and explain their significance to your point. So that looks like this. When Posner refers to hegemony, right? Right out of the quote, then I talk about it. And boy, I got a lot to say about it. And then I use another piece. All right? If you have questions about this, maybe post it to the question forum, send me an email, and I'm happy to talk to you more about it.